Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to Saturday Night Live with Hisham al-Mikawi. Welcoming all of you, Abdu, Ahmed, Muhammad Atta, Abu Malik, Abu Amr, Muhammad Sami. Alaykum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Sorry, we are a couple of minutes late. We had connection issue with the internet, but we are back a few minutes late. Today, inshallah, we will talk about the law number 7 of the 15 invaluable laws of growth, the law of pain. And you know, I've been talking about this for quite some time. There is no pain, no gain. There is no pain, there is no gain. And what we're trying to cover today is how can you convert the pain into gain? Not just feeling the pain while you're growing, but how you convert that and how to use it to your advantage to convert into gain, and how the pain makes you stronger. So when John Maxwell wrote this law, he really wrote it on behalf of all of us. If I can talk to anyone that is watching me right now, and I say, why you felt what you felt, when you were growing, when you went from one position to another. They probably will tell you a lot of things. It was very hard, it was very tough. Taking new responsibilities or going through too many things at the same time. They will tell you that. But the gain that they got out of this pain, you will find that there are a lot of sacrifices. Somebody just said, Ahmed Al-Hadi just said, many sacrifices. You have done many sacrifices. The sacrifice is a pain. The trade, what I say, the trade, you gave some to gain some. For everybody is following me right now, as you know, we have now our video in Arabic. كل الناس اللي بتشاهدني حاليا اهلا بيكم جميعا. الحلقه دي باللغه الانجليزيه دايما، اللي هو البث المباشر يوم السبت، ولكن احنا بنسجل او انا بسجل بعد دي حلقه باللغه العربيه وبنشرها على الصفحه اللي بالعربي اللي هي هشام المكاوي بالعربي. فاهلا بيكم في الحلقه دي، ولكن لو محتاجين الحلقه باللغه العربيه إن شاء الله تبقى على الصفحة الثانية اللي هي صفحة هشام المكاوي بالعربي. So going back, the law of pain, John Maxwell said, good management of bad experiences leads to great growth. Let's say this one more time. Good management of bad experience leads to great growth. So it's really the pain or managing the pain. It's really managing the pain. Because if you just surrender yourself to the hard time that you're getting or the sacrifices that you're making, what are you going to end up with? You're going to end up as a victim, okay? And you're going to blame everything else around you. But if you have the attitude and the stamina and the demeanor of accepting the pain and transferring that pain into something positive, something that you grow through it, or it takes you and it pushes you to actually achieve more and more and more. Okay, there is no such pain. There was a story of this man in the States, and this man lost his son in an early age for cancer. So his little boy had cancer, and he lost his son very early. And he went through so much pain losing his son. But he said something. He said, I understand this is very painful for me, but how many other children that are suffering the same, and how many other families are suffering of losing their kids to that disease? And it was a motivation for him. This is the worst thing can any person experience in their lifetime. It's to lose one of your kids, to lose one of your sons. But this gentleman went ahead and created that huge campaign to raise money for cancer and to save kids with cancer. I know there in Egypt there are other organizations doing almost the same thing, but that was one individual that he went around and he took it as one thing he wants to do. He grew his network to hundreds of thousands of people that they participated in his campaign, and he raised millions of dollars for the cause of cancer. And what happened? He saved too many lives, and he saved too many kids. Obviously, he could not save his kid, but he saved too many kids. This is the pain that it could have been a devastating thing for him, that he cannot move anymore, that he becomes a victim, and he becomes a person with huge depression and huge devastation, that he cannot move anymore. So you have the choice how to manage the pain while you're growing. But every problem, what John is saying, every problem introduces a person to himself. Every problem introduces a person to himself. Because this is the moment when you have a problem and you sit and you look at yourself and you say, I didn't really know that this is really hard. You know, what am I made of? This problem is introducing me to myself. How strong am I? How solid am I? How fragile am I? These are when you are faced with when everything is great and everything is going fantastic and all is well, you don't really get to know your true self. But when you have a problem, I love this this quote. Every problem introduces a person to himself. Okay? But what I'm saying is, we all, anybody that watching me right now, raise your hand, even though I cannot see you, but raise your hand and say, I had bad experiences in my life. If you had bad experience in your life, just raise your hand. Because where the pain comes from, does the pain come from good experience or the pain comes from bad experience? Pain comes from bad experience. Something that made you fall. Something made you struggle. Something made you lose something is so precious to you and so valued to you. This is the bad experience. But the bad experience had three things in common. We all have bad experiences, and we all have these three things. Number one, we all have them. So number one, we all have bad experience. That's number one. Number two, no one likes them. Does anybody like bad experience? No. Everybody wants good experience. Okay? Abdul Sha'rawi did not raise one hand. Abdul Sha'rawi raised three hands next to each other. So Abdul Sha'rawi had a lot of bad experience, right? Abdul, we all do. We all, if I tell you the amount of bad experience I had in my life, and how today when I look back tens of years ago, 10, 20, 30 years ago, and I say, oh my God, how did I get through these bad experience? If you have the courage, if you have the stamina, it's like a marathon. You know, if you don't have the stamina, if you don't practice enough, if you cannot breathe in and out, you know, this is the stamina you need for a long haul, for something that I don't know how did I go through that. Did I struggle? Yes, I struggled big time. I had time when I almost gave up. I had time when I almost said, I cannot do this. I had time when I felt that the entire world around me is just, you know, closing on me. I had these moments. I had that time. But the way I got out of this and how these moments made me stronger and made me even more persistent on the growth and how to grow. And the third thing, few make bad experiences positive experiences. Not all of us, and this is the whole point of today's session, not all of us turn bad experience to positive experience. But why pain is so bad? And what type of pain that we experience? Is it one pain or different type of pains? There's different types of pain. The pain of the inexperience, I have never been through that. Yes, there is the first time for everything. Now remember, the first time you received bad performance appraisal. When is the last time you received bad performance appraisal? After many times receiving good performance appraisal. What was the feeling at that time? How did you feel about receiving bad performance appraisal from your boss? Was it a good moment? How did you feel? You felt pain sitting down and your boss is telling you, you are below target. What? Below target? I've been above target all my life. Yes, but for the last 6 months, you've been below target. Below target for me is pain. How did I go through it? You have two, you can do it two ways. Number one is you give up and you said, this boss or this man does not understand anything. Who's talking now? Is a victim talking now. Who's talking now is a person that lacks accountability. Who's talking now? A person that doesn't want to be accountable for his performance in the last 6 months or a year. And is a person doesn't want to change and he believes, and now he's in a victim mode. Remember the victim mode we spoke about last week. So how you get from that moment where somebody told you you are below target to somebody becoming above target in the next performance appraisal? What is the next logical question that you should ask your boss? Can you tell me what are the things that made me below target? Okay? And if you put it in 3-4 points, you said, yep, you're right. On this one, yes, you're right. On this one, I disagree because 1, 2, 3, 4. But on this one, yes, you're right. How can I make it better? And that's the right attitude when you have pain. How can we change that moment to a positive moment in the future? Pain number 2, the pain of incompetence. I should have seen that coming. Have you seen that coming? And let's stick with that performance appraisal example. Have you seen that coming? In the last 6 months, were you thinking that you are above target, but everybody else seeing you as below target? If that's the case, there is a major issue here in alignment. And is a major issue of how you see in yourself. okay? I remember when I joined Americana, and I sat in the office, and it was a little cabinet next to me, has files from the gentleman was before me, and I opened it to see what files in that cabinet. When I got the file out, there was a lot of performance appraisals for years before that. And then where I came from, it's usually 10% of the organization above target, 50, 60, 70% on target, and there is always 10 to 20% below target. Any organization, it's the bell curve, right? When most people are on target, you have 10, 15, maybe 5 to 10% above target and 10 to 15% below target. So when I opened these performance appraisals, I thought I'm gonna find that bell curve in these evaluations. And I was just shocked. Every single performance appraisal was above target. There is no organization in the entire universe that has everybody above target. What is the whole point then of having performance appraisal? If everybody is above target, this organization should go to the moon. It is so ideal that every single person, I should feel very good that the entire team is above target. But that was not the case. In the first time we have done, or I have done, the objective performance appraisal, there was a lot of shocking moments for people. What do you mean? Even though they were on target, they were not below target, which is the 70% of the population in the entire world are on target. But even though they were on target, they actually had a pain moment. They did not like it. And I remember, if everybody, all my team is watching, or all my team is listening to me, you remember when I used to do my performance appraisal. And everybody used to wait for the performance appraisal, because after the performance appraisal, I always took everybody to seafood night. So they really came, 2 years after that, the first time. I'm not talking about the first time, but after that, for 7 years, they used to wait for the performance appraisal day, because they know there will be a seafood night after that. But this is how sometimes you need to work things out to make people come into that day, because it's a painful day. You don't know what your boss is going to tell you. So you need to ease that pain on people, and you need to make it simple and likable for people to come for their performance appraisal. So they used to come and said, okay, what time is the dinner? They don't care what I tell them. But after the first year and the second year, everybody after that, they understood how to be constructive when you do a performance appraisal. It's not about making you happy in one moment, and then after that, I'm not telling you the truth. There is nothing for you to work on. You are an absolutely great, fantastic, 100% guy that there is nothing you need to work on. And it was some very awkward moment in the first performance appraisal, because that was the first time they started to hear constructive feedback about their performance. So I should have seen that coming, the incompetence, I should have seen that coming. But if you didn't see it, that's a pain, okay? Number 3, the pain of disappointment. I wish it had never happened. Yes, so after you get that below target performance appraisal, you go back home and say, I'm disappointed. I wish I never had that. And that makes you go back 1 year of you have done. Now, sometimes it's out of your hand. Sometimes you had family problems. Sometimes you lost some loved ones. Sometimes you had some financial issue last year. That's absolutely understandable, because If you are naturally a person that likes to grow and likes to be above target, you will take that very personal. And it's very fast, you will actually come back to this very, very quickly. And you will be who you are again. So the disappointment is a good pain. When you are disappointed in yourself, that's actually a good pain. That's not a bad pain. Don't take it to the heart. Okay? Take it, see what you did wrong, and move on. You know? Everybody, you know the famous saying, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger, right? That's business or life in general. It's not rosy. It's full of, it is full of pain every single day. How much pain Corona and COVID-19 put in people's houses and lives and businesses, and there is so much pain. All of us, we've been going through the last year. We're still standing, and we're still standing strong. With the grace of God, with the grace of Allah, He gives us the strength. He gives us the solidarity to stick together and get things done and move on. We have no idea what's going to happen tomorrow, but today we are just facing the problem. We are just facing the pain, and we still have a smile on our faces. Yes, there are people lost their jobs. Yes, there are people lost their income. Yes, there are 30 million Americans today without a job in the United States. That's not fun. I know how it is. I know how it is in the States. In the States, if you sit home one day, you will have no food. Okay? It's not like our back home countries where people help one another. There's nobody helping you. The government will help you a little bit, and that's it. You are on your own. 30 million Americans without a job just because of Corona. But there's a lot of pain in everybody's life right now. But how you take that? But there is always a hope for tomorrow. There is always a hope I can get better. There is always a hope that things, inshallah, will be better tomorrow. Because it's a test that we all have to go through. But to relate to the topic we're talking about today, which is growth, the pain through the growth. Yes, we are growing. Guess what? We all grew 5 years in that 2020. Not 1 year. We grew 5 years. The experience we had in 2020, it's 5 years experience, not 1 year. Because that situation never happened. We had to deal with stuff that we never dealt with before. I just had a conversation with one of my team that he was leaving the company, and we just had a chat 2 days ago. And we were saying what we went through in 2020 is actually something. How can you manage a company with no resource? The resources around you, it's kind of limited because of the sales is not there, the amount of people that you used to have, you don't have anymore. What do? What do is you keep your head clear, and your heart should be with the right things, with the right people. You keep your heart and your head clear, and you focus, and you keep a smile on your face. And this is how you grow through pain. Okay? Number 4, the pain of conflict. The conflict. Human encounter doesn't always feel good. Who said that pain feels good? It's a bad feeling. The conflict of being who I am and the conflict of being in pain. That's a conflict. Okay? Number 5, the pain of change. I didn't want that to happen. Yes, you didn't want that to happen, but how you change it to a better situation and a better future. The pain of hard decisions. You cannot make everyone happy. You cannot make everyone happy. Ladies and gentlemen, if I learn anything today, after 25 years in business, I learned that you cannot make everyone happy. Even if you are the best leader, even if you are the best manager, you have to make some hard decision sometimes. That is not going to make everybody happy. If you were watching or following the election of the US election, the country or the US was 50-50. Biden won by a slight margin, not much, in the public votes. Not much. So almost the country is divided among two people. But at the end of the day, is only one president. When I was serving in the Egyptian military in 1990, and that was during the Gulf War, and I had to go to the academy for 3 months because I had to serve as an officer, not a soldier. And I spent in the Army 2.5 years. And in the academy, I remember the commander of the academy on the first day, we were 1,600 students in the academy. And he had a speech to all of us. And on that day, he said something that I learned from him that day that I applied all my life after that, which is related, you are not going to make everybody happy. What he said is the following. He said, you are 1,600 students standing in front of me today. You're going to go through a lot of pain, and you're going to go through a lot of training, and you're going to go through a lot of things that you never going to like. And you're going to blame me because I'm the commander of this academy. But I will tell you what, I do not care. Because if it's 801 of you said I did a good job, then I did a good job. Which is 50% plus 1. I never forgot that. I never forgot the fact that you will never make everyone happy. There are people, I love Jack Welch. Everybody knows Jack Welch, and I'm a big fan of Jack Welch. And Jack Welch is a man, either you love him or you hate him. There is nothing in between. And I like his management style, even though he's very harsh and people don't like him because he's harsh. Okay, Jack Welch every year used to fire the 10% of the organization that they score below target. Anybody scores below target, he terminates him right away. And he used to reward the top 10% because he always said the top 10% should be rewarded very good because these are the people gonna lead this company next year. But he was very harsh. He always, people, they do not conform to standards. He gets rid of them. And then he hires new people. The bottom 10% of the organization is out. And this is why a lot of people don't like him. But at the same time, he is the man who took General Electric from a company that almost going to file bankruptcy in 81 or 82 to the company General Electric is today. And he has a great thing to say. He said, when you are chosen to be a manager or a leader, you are not in an election. You have won the election, so do the damn job. It's not a popularity contest. It's not like how many people will like me. You should not have that attitude because you already won the election. How many people likes you, how many people hate you, it's not really relevant anymore. You got the job, so do the job. You will never make everyone happy. So these are the hard decisions you have to make sometimes. This is the pain. As a leader of an organization, when Corona happened last year, I had to make these tough decisions. It was not easy. It was very painful to let some people go, to reduce the size of the organization. This is never an easy thing. But these are business decisions. Someone has to make them. And this is what you pay as a leader. You don't get too much credit, but you get the blame when things happen. A good leader gives the credit to his team and take the blame. What did he do when a team that doesn't perform well, soccer team or football team that doesn't perform well, they do not terminate 20 people. They terminate the coach because he takes the blame of the performance. But he's a coach. He's responsible of who are the 11 people they're going to be on the pitch and who are the 11 people they're going to play for that team to make it win. This is how important this concept is. You take the blame because you had the choice to choose your team from the beginning. So you take the blame. And when the team does good, they were supposed to say the coach did good. No, they say, well, such and such scored, such and such is great. Maybe they mention the coach every now and then. But this is the pain. This is the pain leaders have to go through. People have to go through. The pain of not being number one. I deserve to be there. How many of us, or you, or me, in one point of time, on one point or another, we said, I should be number one. Why they give the area manager of the year this year to this person? And I did not get that. I love that, Abdo. Abdo, you are with me on the same page. I just paused for a second I love that quote that somebody said. If you want to make everyone happy, don't be a leader, just sell ice cream. Yeah, absolutely. I love that. I see you, Abdo. That's fantastic. Yeah, you are with me. You're helping me out here, man. This is the great thing about the live instead of the recording, because you get the interaction from everyone that is watching. So it's absolutely true. If you want to make everybody happy, just sell ice cream. Don't be a leader. Because leaders make tough decisions, right? They expect, I deserve to be number one. This is pain. But is that pain, does this pain make you stronger and be number one next year? Or this pain discourages you and makes you number 5 now, not even number 2? That's a different. Will you take that to the heart and you go and you work harder and you see what you did wrong to be number 1 next year? I keep giving that example, but this example left a lot of things and taught me a lot of things. When we did the recognition program for Americana Group, and we start having the restaurant manager rally, I remember, and I think I said this before, when somebody came and said, you have no idea, Mr. Hisham, what we do to be on that stage every year. And we start from the second day after the event is over. I want to be the area manager of the year. I want to be the restaurant manager of the year. I want to be on that stage taking that certificate and that money. And I want my name to be mentioned. And I want to take that picture with all the leaders of Americana. And how that culture made everybody work so hard. You can see the pain on people's face that they were not the one. And everybody comes with a nice suit and tie, and they don't know who won. They don't know who's going to be on that stage. You look at the person who won is so happy, but the other people did not win. You see that on their faces. But I know these people. They went back and they worked double hard to be there the year after. This is the pain of being number one. You will have that. The pain of responsibility. People expect so much from me. Do you feel the pressure that people expect so much from you? This is a pain? Yes, it's a pain. Because when you are a leader, everyone is watching you. Everyone. What you say, what you do, what you don't say, what you don't do. Even when you're silent, people are watching you. This is why be careful. It takes, I love Warren Buffett. Warren Buffett, the billionaire, he had a great saying that I used to have it in my desk. And I used to show it to people when they do something, let's just say something wrong. Not really wrong, but something leaders should not do. And I used to take that paper because I wrote it with my hand, and I used to give it to people. And that saying, that quote says, it takes number of years to build a reputation. And it takes one stupid thing to take it away. It takes number of years for you to build a reputation. But it takes one stupid thing in one moment to take that away. It's absolutely true. You built the reputation of being honest all the time. How many years it took you? 20 years, 10 years, 5 years, 7 years to build the reputation that you are honest, an honest leader. And then you come to one situation and you do one thing, and everybody's watching, and whatever you built in 10 years, 15 years, 7 years, it goes away because of one thing. And this is why I tell people work with me, they know. Make mistakes. It's okay to make mistakes, but don't do stupid mistakes. Don't do silly mistakes. We all do mistakes, but don't do stupid mistakes. Stupid mistakes can ruin your entire thing that you work on for years. Don't do it. So how to turn your pain into gain? How? Hani Dewdar, he said the sessions is giving me a lot of great positive energy, especially in the sales field. Hani, this is for, we don't talk about certain fields. We talk about everything. Whatever I say in these sessions, it can help you wherever you are. It can help you even if you don't have a job. It will help you with your kids at home. It will help you with your wife. It will help you with your family. It will help you with your own business, because I do not specify uh, certain fields for that. But thank you very much for following us and following these sessions. And please share it forward. Last week was a great week. First time we do Arabic videos, and it got about 83,000 views for the Arabic and about almost 100,000 for the English one. The more you share it, and the more you share the knowledge with people, with other people, you are helping at least one more person. Okay, I can only reach so many, but the more you share this, and you share the invitation or the post, which, by the way, I want to ask you first, because I would like to change the schedule of Saturday night to be Sunday night, if that's okay. Saturday night, it's probably the day that I spend with my kids, and because of the session, it needs some preparation. And they asked me nicely today if I can change the session to Sunday. So instead of Saturday Night Live, probably from next week, would like to make it Sunday Night Live, if that's okay. But how to turn your pain into gain, and that's what you really need to listen to me very carefully now. How you turn the pain into gain. Ahmed Izzat, you agree with me on what? On Sunday, or you agree with me because you work for me? Which one? Because the boss said so, or you agree with me because you're watching me now? And Mansoor said it's okay. Okay, so I believe you and Mansoor. What I'm saying is how you turn the pain into gain. Ahmed Izzat is great. Ahmed Izzat said both, because you are my boss and it's okay to be Sunday. So thank you, Ahmed. Appreciate it. The number one, how you change or you turn your pain into gain, is to choose a positive life stance. What does that mean? Choose a positive. I love people, when I meet people, and they just so positive about everything. You know, Corona happened, they're smiling. COVID happened, they're smiling. You know, God forbid they got sick or they got Corona, they just positive. They said it's gonna pass away. It's gonna go away. It's fine. I'm gonna take the medication. You know, I'm just gonna rest and everything will be okay, inshallah. You know, they have issues with their wives or their husbands or their families, and they're just positive. They don't magnify things, and they try as much as they can to focus on the bright side and why we are here. Why we are here. Okay? Do you think we came to this life to enjoy to the fullest? And I'm going to give you great examples. The highest suicide rate in what country? Highest suicide rate in what country? Can anybody guess? I give you 2 seconds to think. Highest suicide rate in what country? Highest suicide rate is in Sweden. Okay, you got this? Sweden. And what is the country that has the highest quality of life or living? Sweden. What is the country has the highest quality of life? Sweden. What is the country that have the highest suicide rate? Sweden. What is the country that have zero unemployment? That every single person in the country works? Sweden. Logically, it doesn't work. If you are the highest quality of living country and the lowest unemployment, everybody works, how can you commit suicide? The point I'm trying to make here, that there are actors in Hollywood and actresses, they have so much money, they don't know what to do with it, but they are so depressed, and they go to psychologists and hospitals to treat them for depression. How? Because it has nothing to do with what you have. Somebody said Japan. Japan, I don't know about Japan, but I know, I read this about Sweden. Could be in Japan too. But how these countries and people living in these countries, they have the highest quality life and highest quality of living, and they commit suicide because it has nothing to do with what you have. It has something to do with you, who you are, how positive you are. How positive are you looking at the entire universe and the entire world? How can you always look at the bright side of the issue? A few months ago, a colleague of mine working with me in the company, and she always comes and see me smiling and cool. At the time where Corona was really tough on all of us and the sales was down big time, and she always said, you know something that we don't know. She keeps telling me this. You know something that we don't know. Why are you always cool and smiling? Because I tell her, I learned something in this life. Neither I'll be cool or nervous. Neither I will be happy or sad. That's not going to change the situation. So why don't you be happy and cool if the situation is beyond your control? And be positive that tomorrow is a better day. Okay? Hani Devidar, I don't know Hani, but he sent a comment. He said, it helps me in sales. Probably the most people that they having so much of a hard time right now is people that actually working in sales. Because what Corona created, that everybody keeping their money to themselves. Even if you have money, I don't want to spend it. Therefore, what salespeople do, they trying to make you buy something, and you don't want to spend. Then what? They having a very, very hard time right now, salespeople. But what do? You stay positive, keep a smile on your face, that tomorrow, inshallah, will be a better year, or a better tomorrow, or a better week, or a better month. People understand and study economics. If you study economics and you read about economics and the economy, there is something called that the economy is cyclical. Cyclical means every 10 years, the economy takes a cycle where you go very high, then you go very low in 10 years, and then you go back again high, and then you go low, and so on and so forth. It's been happening since the Great Depression in 1928. Every 10 years. So we know that things are not going to stay the same. When is the last economic crunch happened? 2009. When is Corona happened? 2020. 10 years after or 11 years after. It is cyclical. So you either smile about it or be mad about it or break something. It's not going to change the situation. Okay? So choose a positive life stands. You're only here for one term, my friend. You're only in life for one term. Keep the smile. Keep the positive attitude. Embrace and develop your creative side. Number 2, how to turn pain into gain. Embrace and develop your creative side. What is the creative side? That is something that you can do, you do not do every single day. Get out of your routine life. Get out of your routine schedule. How you turn that into gain? Start finding what's in your left brain. Because we have the right brain and the left brain, right? So the creative side is usually in the left brain. So we only use our right brain. And by the way, we only use 10% of our brain. There is 90%. With everything that we do, there are 90% are not utilized. So if you use your creative side, if you like to paint, paint. If you like to play football, play football. If you like to write a book, write a book. This is the creative side that you're always trying to find something. Even if you're in business, something that you never have done before. Try to be creative in what you do. That will take you away and will put a smile on your face. Try to be creative in the solutions. Right now, I was just reading today on LinkedIn, a friend of mine had a post, and he said, why new CEOs perform better than the old CEOs? They did a research on about 7,000 people. And they found out that the new CEOs, they are more creative than the old CEOs. And that's why they are more successful, because they get that creativity and the creative side of them, and they're trying to find new solutions and new things, not the routine or known solutions that everybody uses during crisis or during tough time. Embrace the value of bad experience. Number 3, embrace the value of bad experience. Don't say this is bad experience. The bad experience, learn from it. Learn from it. Make it something that you learn and you move on. What I tell people, you don't have to make the mistakes yourself. Look at other people and see what mistakes they have done and don't do them. So exactly like somebody's giving you free learning. If you have a boss, monitor that boss. Look at him. What is he doing right? What is he doing wrong? When you get to his place, don't do the stuff that he used to do wrong, and do the stuff that he used to do right, and add to it. And this is how you embrace the value of bad experience. Bad experience are the mistakes that you do or others do. The smart person, he doesn't have to make all the mistakes that a person can make. He can make some and look at the other people and avoid to make these mistakes or bad experience. But embrace the value of that and said, okay, now I know, let's get up and move forward. Make good changes after learning from bad experience. Now that you have the bad experience, what are the changes that you're gonna make? Because I love what everybody knows that's watching me right now. If you do what you always have done, you're gonna get what you always got. Yes? So unless you change and you have a different approach from that bad experience, nothing will happen. Okay? Now you're not embracing the bad experience. And last, take responsibility of yourself and your life. Take responsibility. Nobody is gonna carry your life for you. No one will carry your life for you. You remember my saying, and if you are a leader, what do you say? Don't carry them, but lead them. Lead the way, but don't carry them. If somebody is not willing to go with you, if you are a leader, and you have that experience, or you have that bad experience, or you have a team, that either team, this team will support you during that time, or will be an extra load for you. If you are during crisis and you are a leader and this team is not helping, but is working against you, or is not doing anything, okay? If you are not helping, you're hurting. You remember what I used to say? If you are not helping, you're hurting. You need to help. You cannot be indifferent. Indifferent people and organizations are not good. You need to be somebody who's driving change. You need to be somebody who's driving positive environment. I will take 2-3 minutes because we started 2-3 minutes late. So I'm gonna end up with what bring you here won't get you there. Absolutely, Ahmed Al-Hadi. It's a great book, right? I gave it to you guys one time to read, if you remember. What got you there, or what brought you here, it won't get you there. That's absolutely, unless you change and you do the change that your team is looking for or you're looking for, nothing will happen. So these statements, based on your life, which of these statements best describes your response to pain? Okay, I'm just gonna say it and you say yes or no. I do anything and everything possible to avoid pain at all. I know pain is inevitable, but I try to ignore it or just block it out. I know everyone endures pain, so I just endure it when it comes. When it comes, I'll deal with it. Yeah? I don't like pain, but I try to remain positive despite it. Nobody does. Nobody does. I process the emotion of painful experience quickly and try to find a lesson in them. I process pain, find the lesson, and make changes proactively as a result. With that, please share this video forward to somebody that you really know that he or she is going through pain. Let them know that is tomorrow, it will be, inshallah, better than today. And 2021, inshallah, will be better than 2020. Tell them that pain is not going to go away. It's going to come in different forms. That's what pain comes. Sometimes pain comes in, in your health. Some pain comes in your financial situation. Sometimes pain comes in, it's just life keep throwing pains at us. It's a test from God to see who can tolerate it, change it to a positive thing, and tell them that somebody that you know that they're going through hard time right now. Tell them that if you be sad or you be happy, it won't change the situation. So just be happy, be positive. Don't think about tomorrow too much, but don't think about the past too much. Think about how you can how you change your situation today and move forward. Please share the video forward. And I thank you very much for all your support. God bless you all. I will see you, inshallah, next week. And we will talk about the law of the ladder. The ladder. Character growth determines the height of your personal growth. Your character growth determines the height of your personal growth. So, thank you very much. God bless you. And see you on Sunday. Sunday Night Live now is not Saturday Night Live. Take care.